Now, I usually don't talk about the news here in Philly because at times it can just get to be too much. But this specific story I wanted to talk about because I think is more common than people actually realize. And it's crazy because a lot of times when things like this happen, it happens so fast that you don't even know what to do. You don't know whether to run. You don't know whether to scream. You just, you get frozen in that moment because it's like that's such an intimate thing to do. I can't believe I'm watching somebody do this outside. This particular incident, the guy turned himself in. So obviously he felt some form of heat or some form of remorse for what he did. But since this actually came up, I want to take this moment to tell my story and my experience with these types of things because this has happened to me at least 5 times. I will keep it brief with the storytelling, but the very first time it happened, I was on my way to school. I was in high school and I was walking with my friend, and we're walking down the street, and for some reason we both just happened to glance at this guy's car at the same time, and we noticed that he had his thing out and he's literally jerking off sitting in his car. So me and my friend, we look at each other, we're so surprised, we just take off running. And it really didn't dawn on me at that moment, but this man was parked in front of a Catholic school, an elementary Catholic school, jerking off in the driver's seat. Because me and my friend, as we were walking, we were just walking by. So he was parked where the schoolyard is. So he's watching these little girls run around and doing his thing. So scary. But, at the time, we were just so shocked. And I might have been maybe like about, I might have been 16. But I just remember being so shocked and I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I, I was frozen. There was another instance where I was on the 47 bus and I had just dropped my daughter off at school. And it was a double bus, which if you're familiar with the double bus, the bus driver, if you're sitting on the back of the bus driver is way up in the front. So I'm sure he can't even really see what is actually happening in the back of the bus. So I'm on the bus. The bus starts clearing out because at this point, the traffic and everything is starting to die down because, kids are in school, people are at work, and, people are getting off the bus. So I'm sitting in the left-hand side in the last seat up against the back of the bus. There's a guy sitting at the opposite end of where I'm sitting at the back of the bus. So I'm seeing this man moving a lot, like moving back and forth. So I'm thinking to myself, at first, I'm like, I ain't even going to look over there because I don't even want to know what he's doing. And it's wintertime, so we both had winter coats on, but he had on like pajama pants or whatever. So something tells me once everybody got off the bus, it was just me, him, and the bus driver that's way in the front. So something tells me to just take a peek over there at what he's doing. Y'all, why is this man over there jerking off through his pants on the bus? So I'm sitting there. I'm trying not to let him even notice that I notice what he's doing, but I jump up and I quickly went to the exit and I got off the bus at a random stop. Now, I called a guy that I was dating at the time and I was like telling him what happened to me or whatever. And he's like, oh my God, like, stay where you at. He comes and picks me up. But again, I could not believe that that's what happened. Like, I couldn't believe I was in that situation. In a more recent incident, this may have been probably like about 2022. Me and my girlfriend are in the market, and I noticed this older guy every time, we're like walking around the market, he's like in the same spot or whatever. He's like in the same vicinity as me and my friend. So, people walk through the market and people just be, strolling, browsing. So I didn't think anything of it. So at one point, this man, he walks up to me and he says something. I don't even remember what he said, but I just smiled and laughed it off or whatever. And I was like, I just kept it moving. So when me and my friend finally get to the front of the market and we're standing in line, he's standing in the line that's the next line over. So we're waiting. I happen to look down, and y'all, why is this man jerking off through his pants? Now, he's old. I'm talking at least 70s. At least. Now, for some reason, I can't remember whether I yelled out and said, "You're nasty" or "You're disgusting." But I remember saying to my girlfriend, like, this man is over here jerking off. And then I wasn't sure if he was following us, but my girlfriend's like, look, if he outside this market, when we get outside, we dipping on his ass. And oddly enough, when we left out the market, he was nowhere to be seen, which was odd because he was old. So I don't know what happened. It was like he disappeared into thin air or something. It was weird. But again, I didn't have on a revealing outfit. I had on something flowy. It wasn't the attire that I had on. I didn't provoke this man in any way. You just look up and people be going for what they know. Now, I'm not going to share the other two stories because y'all pretty much get what I'm saying. This is more common than people will possibly be willing to believe, because this has happened to me in all walks of my life. Like, I've seen this happen so many times. So is there an epidemic in Philadelphia, or is this just something that men do, period, like all over the place? I don't know. But it has happened to me too many times for me to think that this isn't an actual thing. Have you ever had this experience? And if you have, what city are you in? And what brought it on? Or where were you? Or what happened? And what did you do?